Hello, I'm Sammy Tippett, and I come to you today with a sense of urgency about the darkness that is rapidly spreading throughout the world. I don't think I've ever had as much concern about the spiritual darkness that is growing so rapidly as I have right now. There are three kinds of darkness that are very unsettling: global darkness, domestic darkness, and inner darkness. Global darkness is spreading rapidly with the rise of groups like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and Al-Shabaab. It's almost unbelievable that we are witnessing brutal acts of murders and beheadings in the 21st century. It's almost as though we've reverted back to the Dark Ages. Because of social media and the internet, a terrorist can be in the middle of a desert in the Middle East and issue a command, and murder and mayhem can be inflicted on faraway nations. While the darkness of radical Islam grows, the church has been rocked asleep in the bed of apathy. We pulled the cover over our heads and said, "Night is approaching. We need our rest. All will be better in the morning." However, there's not only a growing global darkness, but there's a deepening domestic darkness. The collapse of the family unit has left a moral and spiritual vacuum. We don't have to go very far to be engulfed by it. It can be found on a street where God's lights have been blown out. Often, the darkness isn't just filling the neighbor's home, it's seeped into many of our own households. Anger, abuse, and base behavior have run rampant down Main Street and now threaten to engulf entire communities. Perhaps the greatest darkness facing each of us is the inner darkness, dwelling deep within the human heart. Most of us would like to say, the global darkness is really bad, and the darkness down the street is shocking. However, few of us are willing to ask God to search our own hearts and expose the dark areas of our own lives. I'm convinced we need a great revival at this critical moment of history. We need God's intervention. That's why I believe we must seek God's face as we've never prayed. I've spent the past 50 years ministering in the dark places of the world. I've traveled to some of the darkest and most difficult regions in the world, and I've seen the glory of God shatter the darkness. I walked into the revolution in Romania, the aftermath of the genocide in Rwanda. I've preached in Pakistan right after terrorists killed more than 100 Christians in a suicide bombing. I've watched God transform communities in nations and in many of these dark areas. I know that God can shatter the darkness that is creeping into the Western world, but we desperately need a spiritual awakening. That's why I've been traveling around the United States and calling for revival among God's people. And that's why I've written a book, Light in the Darkness. I hope that you'll read this urgent message. You'll learn about darkness we're facing and how to deal with it. You'll be educated and inspired by this unique presentation. You'll learn about the great awakenings of the past, the present-day revivals in dark areas of the world like Pakistan and Iran. You can order Light in the Darkness at Amazon.com or SammyTippettBooks.com. Read Light in the Darkness and share it with a friend. Be a part of the coming revival. Get your copy today. Light in the Darkness.